Hello everybody, I'm Chris Provost and you're watching Park Pass, and today I'm at Disneyland and we have a lot of new subscribers to our channel. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to do the deepest secret of each land here at Disneyland. That's right, buckle up because these are deep, deep cuts of secrets. Let's do this. Disneyland has amazing history and lots of secrets and cool things. And that's really when we started our YouTube channel. That's mostly what we focused on. It's my favorite thing we do is the secrets revealed. And we still do quite a few of those videos. So if you haven't, hit the subscribe button and then hit that little bell notification if you want to be notified when we do new videos. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to go to each land here in Disneyland and show you the deepest and best secret of each land. And if you like this content, then go ahead and write more secrets, please. And I'll do a part 2 of, oh my gosh, hi! So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each land and I'm going to show you the best secret of each land. And that's what we're going to do. And like I was saying, if you like this video and you're enjoying it, write more secrets, please. And maybe I'll do that for DCA. Maybe I'll do it over in DCA. And if you like even more than that, maybe I'll come back and do a part 2 here at Disneyland. But man, there's such amazing history here. I'm a big history fan, and I love learning all about the cool things of Disney. All right, so let's get started with the first deep, deep secret. This is probably the most well-known secret I'm gonna show here. It's here on Main Street. Beautiful castle right down there. We're walking down Main Street. You got all the shops. Now, this whole idea is called a spoke and hub. You have to walk down Main Street in order to get into the park. Walt came up with that idea because he wanted you to be in the park, experience it, and removed from the world. But there's a really cool thing here. When they were building Disneyland, they couldn't decide how they wanted the bricks to be. And I'm gonna show you the test pattern here on Main Street. A lot of people know the secret, but it's one of the best secrets here. It is right here on Main Street. We're gonna turn right here, down this way. All right, so when they were deciding how to build Disneyland, some of the ways they drew was they wanted the bricks to be straight, and some of the architects wanted the bricks to be wavy. But they couldn't visualize it. So what they did is they did a test wall where they did half the bricks in wavy and half the bricks in straight lines. So that way Walt can make a decision. And this right here is a drinking fountain. But if you look right here, you'll notice the bricks here are in straight lines. That way you can see that. And then right there, that line there, that denotes it. And over here, you can see kind of the crazy bricks, like here, little wavy bricks. Well, Walt liked the crisp, clean lines, and that's what they ended up doing Main Street. But this was kind of a prototype because this is what they did in Toontown. Right there in Toontown. Now, when they got done doing this test wall, they didn't know what to do. They didn't have a lot of money. So what did they do? They just smacked a drinking fountain right there and says, good to go. And they've left it. It's been here ever since. So that is the best secret here on Main Street, the test wall pattern. Now we're gonna go into, let's start turning right every time. Let's go into Tomorrowland. I'll show you the best secret located in Tomorrowland. A lot of times people will ask me, right, well, Chris, how do you get all these secrets? A lot of it's through research, history. I have a lot of contacts at Disney that will help me with this. But sometimes I get it from fans, that's right. And you guys are like, hey, Chris, did you know about this? Did you know about this? And you put it down in the comments. And if I can verify that it's true, because I don't like to do speculative stuff here, if I can verify it's true, then I will talk about those amazing secrets. So if I don't do some secret that you know is amazing, put it down in the comments down below as well. And I'll try to show it here in Provost Park Pass. Okay, in order to talk about the best secret revealed here in Tomorrowland, you have to know a little bit about the history of this. This is the Astro Orbiter. The Astro Orbiter has a unique history here at Tomorrowland. You'll notice how it's located right here at the front, the entrance of Tomorrowland. It always wasn't here though. Now, like I said, the Astro Orbiter wasn't always located right there in the front. It used to be located right there, on top of this pavilion, right there. You would have to take an elevator, much like it is in Florida. Florida still has it up on the pavilion. You'd have to take an elevators up to it, you get up on top, and it gave you an amazing view of Disneyland, particularly Tomorrowland, because you're up so high, right up there, right on that platform right there. But here's what happened. When they were redoing the rocket, the Orbitron, they give all the new servos and ball bearings and all that stuff, and they gave new rockets and new engines and everything. And when they realized it weighed too much, it couldn't fit on top of that platform, the platform would crumble. So they ended up having to put the Astro Orbiter at the front of Tomorrowland. Now, that is not the secret that I'm about to reveal to you, but you have to understand that history. Hi, how are you? Now, when they did that, when they did the refitting of the Orbitron, the Astro Blasters, they put in new rockets on it, on the outside. So now that you know that, they've had new rockets on the outside, we have to go look in here, right here, into the little green man's, the store command. So So we're gonna go right here into Little Green Man's Store Command. And there's two remnants of the Astro Blasters. The first one is right over here, right there. This used to be a rocket on the Astro Blasters. It's right there, and now it's a display as a shelf. And it was like the wing that people would step into. And they even have, if you look inside, they even have the lever that you'd pull to go up and down right there. They have two of them here. They have one here, and they have another one across the store. Let's check it out. And there's the second one right here. The second Astro Blaster rocket ship. You see the handle inside it. They use it now for shelves, for like little bags. But this is an actual piece of history right there. The Astro Blaster rockets are located, the old ones are located in the Little Green Man's Store Command. And this is just a bonus one here at Tomorrowland. Inside the store, they also have a remnant of the People Mover. It's the counter where you buy your stuff. The outside, they use the shell of the People Mover to make the outside the counter. I'll show you. And there's the outside that you can see. Those are the doors that open up. It's the old People Mover, and there's the bars. So yeah, the outside the counter is now a People Mover. All right, so now let's do the next deep, dark secret. Is gonna go into Fantasyland. There are lots of history and lots of cool secrets. I have lots of videos about Fantasyland, best secrets there. But I literally am gonna show you, I think, the deepest cut secret that very few people know in Fantasyland. This is a good one. All right, so now we're gonna go into Fantasyland to find some amazing secret. This secret is located all the way in the back of Fantasyland. Fantasyland is an interesting land because as a child, you just love it, right? Then you get like teenager and college age, you're kind of like, I don't like that. But then as you become a parent again, you just fall in love with it again all over as you have children. It is a very fun land, and it's really designed, I think it's the heart of Disneyland. It's how kind of Walt envisioned it, where a family, a mother and a son, a father and a daughter, or an aunt or uncle, they can ride a ride with a child and both have that amazing experience together. All right, like I said though, we gotta walk all the way to the back to see this deep, deep secret. This is a deep cut, here we go. So we have to go to It's a Small World. Now you guys know about hidden Mickeys, right? Well, hidden Mickeys, where they have like a little hidden Mickey, like a silhouette usually hidden on, sometimes like in a ride or like on the sidewalk or something like that. Well, this here is not a hidden Mickey, it's a tribute to one of Mickey Mouse's competitors. And it's found on It's a Small World. All right, so we're about ready to board It's a Small World. Now, who is Mickey Mouse's biggest competitor? I would say probably Bugs Bunny, right? Bugs Bunny. But there maybe is a smaller competitor, Charlie Brown. And I love Charlie Brown, and I think actually the Disney company also has a small affinity for Charlie Brown. They actually respect him because inside It's a Small World, rather than having a hidden Mickey, they have a hidden Charlie Brown at the end of the ride. At the very end of the ride, as you're leaving, it's like saying like sayonara, bye-bye. There's a little postcard, and if you look at the boat on the postcard, a stamp, there's a stamp. You look on it, you'll see some people on a boat, and right in the center, you see a little homage to Charlie Brown. Yeah, this is a deep cut. I'll show it to you. Now, it's not at the beginning, it's at the ending. All right, so we're coming to the end of the ride. I'll show you. See that red stamp right there? Right in the center is Charlie Brown. A little Charlie Brown reference. The little hair and this like little
Please remain
nervous
seated
smile.
until your boat comes
Charlie
to a
Brown's
complete
great.
stop at the dock.
All right, so the next land we have to go into is Toontown. Let's do some secrets revealed in Toontown. Oh, Matterhorn squishing it. By the way, if you're thinking about coming down to Disneyland or Walt Disney World, the best way to do that, guys, is click the link down below. We work with Getaway Today. You'll get the very best prices on your tickets and on your hotels. Or you can call them at 1-855-GETAWAY. That's 1-855-GETAWAY. And when you call them, be sure to tell them Provost Park Pass sent you, and you will get the absolute best rates you can on tickets. It's like literally, if you went to Disney to buy a ticket, it'd be more expensive doing it there. You get the cheaper prices. Like, make your dollar stretch a little bit further. All right, now we're entering into Toontown. Let's look for this really deep secret. Toontown is zany, it's crazy, it's fun, there's so many cool details, but the one you have to see is this one right over here. It's in the mountaintop right up here. There is a windmill. See that little teeny tiny windmill up there? Now the Disney Animation Studio, they made a short film called The Old Mill, and it was about a windmill. And this is the very first time that they ever used a multi-pane camera, so they do different depths of field. Because of the success of that, they were then able to do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's right, because of that windmill, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. So they have an homage to that windmill here in Toontown. You can see it right back there, little silhouette. That, because of that technology, they were able to have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now I'm gonna show one more tiny thing here in Toontown. This is for like the little ones. If you ever want to show a little one like what a hidden Mickey is and try to explain to them, the best place to come to is Toontown. I'll show you. You're going to take him and get on the pathway here. This is for the line for Gadget Go Coaster. And you walk right down here. You see all these little blue rocks. This is a very easy to find hidden Mickey that even little ones can see. There it is right there. You see a little hidden Mickey? The head right there and the 2 ears. Boop, boop. Hidden Mickey. This is a perfect hidden Mickey to show little ones so they can start looking for hidden Mickeys. All right, now we're gonna leave Toontown and we're gonna go into, I gotta go through Fantasyland and then back into Frontierland, but I'm not gonna do Frontierland. I'm gonna go just do a quick little cut through Frontierland and go into Batuu, Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land. Let's do a deep dark secret there. All right, we're just walking through Fantasyland, cut the corner of Frontierland right into Batuu. All right, so we're barely inside Frontierland and we're turn right, take us right into Batuu. Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land, whatever you like to call it. Now, each of these lands has amazing secrets, like awesome secrets and history. I mean, just tons. Like I'm going into Batuu, there's tons there, there's tons of Fantasyland everywhere. But I'm just choosing the ones that most people don't know, the deepest secrets you can find. All right, let's do this. Let's go into Galaxy's Edge. Now, Star Wars. Basically, this is George Lucas's baby, right? It was his brain trust came up with all these amazing ideas, and we owe all of this to George Lucas. But in the very first movie, in Star Wars, New Hope, the episode 4, but it was the first movie to ever come out. They had this scene where R2-D2 is in the desert, going along in the desert, and he's rolling along. Well, the Disney Imagineers, when they were creating Batuu, got special permission to go to the Lucas archives. And when they got there, they were able to meet with the original R2-D2 from A New Hope, the one that was in the desert, specifically the one in the desert. And they got permission to plaster cast his rollers, the wheels that he rolled on. They made a plaster cast model of that, and then for that plaster cast, they were able to make a replica of the tires that R2-D2 had. They then brought those tires, those replica tires here, and when the cement was still kind of fresh, they rolled them along, and you can see the original R2-D2 trail. They have these trails throughout Batuu, but the easiest way to find it, the most identifiable, is you come to this droid depot, I guess. You look right here. I'm gonna go in, there they are. See them? Those are plaster casts made of R2-D2 from A New Hope. Let's see if you can follow along. Can I see them little trail right there? Follow along. You will see them. Once you get in the shadow here, it'll be easier to see. Once you get in the shadow, get in the shadow. There they are. So, literally, if you walk on this trail, you are walking where R2-D2 rolled in Tatooine. How amazing is that? Speaking of R2-D2, do you know what you call a droid who takes the long way home? R2-D-Tour. Detour. All right, so now I'm gonna walk all the way through Batuu, Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, whatever you like to call it, and end up by Critter Country. We're going to Critter Country, do a secret there, then turn around and go into Frontierland, and we'll end in Adventureland. Batuu here, by the way, it's a little over 14 acres. It's huge. The largest land. All right, let's go on to Critter Country. All right, so here we are in Critter Country. What is really the only attraction now is, well, you got Winnie the Pooh. What's gonna happen? Because right behind me is Tiana's Bayou Adventure, right there. They're gonna be making that Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Is that going to be part of Critter Country, or are they gonna annex this part and turn it into part of New Orleans Square? I mean, it seems like that's where she belongs, is in New Orleans Square, so then Critter Country is gonna become incredibly small. I don't know, just for speculation. But let me show you a really cool secret hidden here in Critter Country. Let's do this. Right here at the very end, you're gonna see this little store here, and you have to look up on the roof to see Rue's mailbox. So right here above the store, this is the general store that you go into. But if you look right up there, you can see it says Mr. Sanders, and then you can see a mailbox right there. It says Kanga, and then you see one way up taller. That's Rue's own personal mailbox. And why is this higher? because he's a child, has all the energy, you know, and he's jumping so high. So Rue's mailbox is way high. Bye, Eeyore. Because an Eeyore just walked on by. Oh my gosh. All right, so while I'm down here in Critter Country, though, we've got to go find Tiggertail. It's one of my favorite treats. You get an extra marshmallow on the Tiggertail. So I talked about how the other normal ones, you just get 3 marshmallows. With the Tiggertail, they give you 4. So let's go into Pooh's Corner and get one of those. Oh, look, and they're making some right now. She's gonna put on the dark chocolate on the Tiggertail. It's an orange chocolate, and then underneath it there's caramel. So it's caramel, like an orange chocolate, and then you got the dark chocolate on the outside. It is so good. Oh, I love it. True artist. Perfect. Perfection. Just getting all the excess off. Ah, there it is. Let's do this. So good. Okay, so now I'm leaving Critter Country. I'm going into New Orleans Square. We're going to New Orleans Square. We'll do a deep secret there. And then from New Orleans Square, we're going to go into Frontierland and then go to Adventureland. Walking into New Orleans Square, this was the very first additional land to Disneyland. Cost $17 million, which is what the cost of Disneyland cost. That was the first expansion land. And it might be close to perfect. It is. New Orleans Square is just amazing land. The theming is great, everything's great. The rides, the attractions, the food, everything's perfect here. So many cool secrets of history here in Frontierland, in New Orleans Square. It's hard to choose the best. But what I'm gonna show you is one that I think that most people do not know. So let's look at that one. When they were designing New Orleans Square, Walt Disney himself would go down and look for antiques and go down to Louisiana and try to find things to bring back here for New Orleans Square. He wanted authentic pieces here. So I'm gonna show you a plaque that he brought back. This is a plaque that Walt brought back right here, see it? It's right above the drinking fountain here in New Orleans Square. We don't know how old it is. We do know for a fact it's over 100 years old, probably around 140 to maybe 150 years old is what a lot of people estimate. The plaque was brought back, they didn't know what to do with it, so they put it here as the backdrop for the drinking fountain. If anybody could tell me more about that plaque, I would appreciate that. I mean, like anything that any history would be great. I'd greatly appreciate it. I've talked to several cast members here and they've told me what they know about it, but like I guess they didn't keep records of like when they purchased, when they brought it over, where they got it from. We don't know how old it is, and so all of it's just estimated now. That's really cool. Pirates Caribbean. You guys hear about that boat that was at the bottom of the ocean? It was just twitching a lot. Yeah, the boat was twitching at the bottom of the ocean. It was a nervous wreck. So for those of you who are big Disney fans, you probably noticed I went from New Orleans Square, I'm gonna go to Frontierland. Now a lot of you are like, well, why wouldn't you have gone into Adventureland? It's way easier. True, it is. But I want to save Adventureland for last because I think it's a good one. All right, now we are entering into Frontierland, one of my favorite lands. I think it's a lot of times people just walk through real fast to get where they're going, but it's such an intricate land. There's a lot of cool things here. I love it. I love the backdrops. I love the music. I love the food. Really, it's one of the best. You can see like the Bryce Canyon Mountains over there for Big Thunder. And I think it's just wonderful. All right, let's go take a look at this amazing secret. So in the time of cowboys, when a cowboy they'd go shopping, right? They go shopping, and when they go into the general store, if they respected the store owner, what they do is they'd wipe their boots on the wooden plank, the wooden plank sidewalks, to scuff off all the mud, because they're always walking through a lot of mud. If they didn't respect the shop owner, they just walk in and leave dirty footprints. But here at Disney, they respect us and we respect them, so everybody scuffs their mud off of their shoes. And if you look at the wooden plank sidewalk, you can see all the fake mud on it. So right there, you notice the boards, they've painted fake mud, because a cowboy would come in, you'd scrape your mud off like that to show respect to the store owner back in the times of Western, and leave mud right there. And that's what they've done. They've actually painted fake mud here at Frontierland. I love that detail. Go in the store, wipe off the mud. All right, now we're gonna be going into Adventureland. I'm gonna show you the last deep secret of all the lands. When I started Provost Park Pass, the first video I ever did was top 10 desserts at Disneyland. The second video I did was Adventureland Secrets Revealed. And this is one of the very first secrets I ever revealed here at Disney. Now a lot of people, back then nobody was really talking about this. Now a lot of people are talking about this particular secret, so it might not be like such a deep cut, but at one point hardly anybody knew what it was. And the reason I like it so much is because I think it shows what type of man Walt Disney was. Now when Walt Disney was getting ready to build his dream of Disneyland, he had to buy the land. And he bought the land out here, these orange groves here in Anaheim, and he bought this parcel of property from the Dominguez family. They owned all of this. And when he was negotiating and buying the property, the Dominguez family, they told Walt, they said, hey, we're gonna sell this, but it's something that's really important to us. There is a palm tree. And this palm tree means a great deal to our family. We've had weddings under that. It's just something that we love, this palm tree. Walt agreed when he purchased the property that he would protect and preserve that tree for as long as he could. And he transplanted it here to Adventureland. The Dominguez, it's called the Dominguez palm. It is one of the oldest things here in Disneyland. Not the oldest thing is actually on Storybook Land, but it is one of the oldest. It's over 120 years old, this Dominguez palm. So let me show you where it's at. Now I gotta be clear about that. When I said it's one of the oldest living things here, it's, I think, the second oldest living thing here, really. There's this tree on Storybook Land, that's the oldest living thing. There's also a fossil here, that's the oldest thing. That's in Frontierland. So let's go look at the Dominguez palm. All right, right here to the left-hand side, we got Jungle Cruise. Right there we have Indiana Jones. And right here we have this little area, and you can see the base of the palm tree. There it is, that is the base. That is the Dominguez palm tree. Goes all the way up, way up there, way up there. And that was a tree that the Dominguez family, it meant a lot to them. They wanted Walt to preserve it. And he gave his word that he would, and he did. He had it transplanted. It's moved a couple of times, but it's still right here. It's still in the land, and it is the Dominguez palm. All right, I need to find a place where I can sit down real quick because I want to talk to you, and I am talking to you. So let me find a spot where I won't get distracted. Hang on. All right, so I found a little spot where I can talk to you for a second. I want you to know that you are awesome, and I am talking to you. Yeah, you. You make the world a better place. Did you know that? And I know that some of you right now might be suffering from a little bit of depression. Maybe you're suffering, maybe you're having a hard time with your job. Maybe you feel underappreciated because you're boss. Maybe you feel like you're just trying really hard and nobody's noticing all the hard work you're putting in. I want you to know that I notice. You make the world better. The way you make the world better is by being here, by being a part of it. Don't ever give up. Don't forget that. You are so important. You are special and you are unique. You really are. And I just need you to know that. All right, let's continue on. Now, if you, wait a minute. Did you hit that like button? Okay, good. Let's continue on with the video. Here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to do some more fun videos like this. If you like videos like this, then go ahead and put down like more secrets, or if you know the history about that plaque, I would like to learn more about it. Let me know, or there's a really cool secret that you know that most people don't know, put it down. But be aware, if you tell me the secret, then that means I can share it with everybody. So just be aware. If you have a secret you don't want anybody to know, then don't tell me. You guys are amazing. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Bing, 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 bing. When you hit the subscribe button, I know a lot of you already subscribed. For those of you who haven't, just go ahead and subscribe to us. That's like giving a big, huge thank you for saying, thank you for all those cool video and the history you've done. And the like button, that's giving me like a pat in the back and saying, I like what you've done and I appreciate it. And it makes me feel good. Just to be honest with you, it makes me feel great. All right, guys, you guys are the best. I'll talk to you later. Got some really cool videos coming up next. Bye. Secrets revealed in each land. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da. Which one was your favorite? Ba-ba-da-da-da. Was it the Dominguez Palm or the really old plaque? What was your favorite? Was it R2-D2's track?